Hi everyone, yay! All right, so there's some goats up here. They're super cute. Turn that around. I'm pretty sure you can see them. Yeah, they're little goats. There's a really happy mama walking around with a ton of milk. So, anyways, and the cocks are crowing all day long. It is the middle of the day, and I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna share with you guys some travel hacks. Let's see, video hacks. I'm learning how to do this. Be careful that the wallety thing doesn't spin in front of your camera, right? There you go. A mistake made is a lesson learned. Just try not to make the mistake again. Oh, seriously, okay, look at those clouds. Look at the beautiful cumulus clouds. Oh, yeah. Island skies are gorgeous. Marine layers are awesome. Okay, so I have first my green tea. All right, and I have this list. And I wrote down a whole bunch of notes because I have a bunch of travel hacks to share or thoughts about travel. And so we're just going to dive in. They're all over the place. They're sort of eclectic. I've had the great fortune of being able to travel actually quite a bit over the past 10 years of my life. I had never been out of the continental US until my 40th birthday. And the one thing I did want was to not be on the North American continent for my 40th birthday. And so we ended up going to Costa Rica, which I would not go back to. But not because the people in Costa Rica are a problem. Anyways, so I've learned some things along the way, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to preface this with the fact that, you know, there's that idea that you can't run away from your problems, right? You know, wherever you go, there you are. And so I'm going to try to get you guys a better background. What's the best background? I think this is. Okay, here we go. Turning around. How's that look? Oh, yeah. Oh, watch my head. Oh, my head blocks the big metal tower. There it is. Metal tower. Yay. Okay. Alrighty. So, that's a nice view, huh? Okay. Wherever you are, there you are, right? Wherever you go. So I lean into thriftiness and frugality. That's just in my nature. And I bring that with me when I travel. So some of these hacks, a lot of them are related to that, which is part of what I'm trying to express, which is that you can absolutely get out there and see the world. If you want to be on a 5-star cruise, that's going to cost more than the way I travel. If you want to be staying in 5-star hotels and eating at a restaurant once a day and renting a car, you're going to be doing different travel than what I do. And what you do is great. You do you. That's wonderful. But if you are a little bit like me, here are some travel hacks. So first of all, so I'll look away every once in a while, sorry. So I'm gonna start off with souvenirs. I don't buy souvenirs. And so what I do is I buy clothing and shoes and sometimes a pair of sunglasses. I was planning for this trip that I was going to buy a pair of sunglasses. So here's the deal. When I leave my house to go on a trip, I dress in the rattiest, most gross, holes everywhere, stains everywhere, falling apart, holes in the crotch, I don't care. The ratty clothes that you are like about to throw in the trash, that's what I wear. That's what I pack. All of my garbage clothes. And usually after a year or 2 or 3 or whatever, people have, you know, if you save it, you've got some garbagey clothes. And first, you're going to be super comfortable on the airplane because your garbage clothes are the most soft and they're the most loose and they're the most comfortable, right? Secondly, you don't care what happens. So if you are on a plane and you spill Coca-Cola all over your shirt, who cares? It's covered in paint stains anyways, right? So it's low risk. And here's the kicker. You have your usually people, I travel with just a backpack. On this trip, because I'm gone for 5 weeks, I actually brought one piece of luggage, small, with wheels on it, right? Haha, normally I have a backpack. That's it. Even if when I traveled to see my mom for a month, I only brought a backpack. So, you want to bring the clothes you're going to throw away. And then here's the cool thing. As you go around through your life on your trip, you don't go to the tourist shops and find something super overpriced and expensive. Depending on where you are, you can even go to a thrift store. Because what you want to do is come home in some fun, comfortable, cool clothing that reminds you of your trip, because that's what a souvenir is all about. So when I went to Iceland, for example, there's this really great youth hostel. I'll put it below, okay? I'll put it below, so read the written part of this Substack. And so I stay in this youth hostel. I go to Iceland when I travel to Europe. So I don't go to Iceland to go to Iceland, but Iceland Air has a special thing where you can get off in Iceland, spend up to a week there. I usually stay for 2 nights. It helps me break the jet lag, and then I continue onward to Europe, because traveling east is harder than traveling west when it comes to jet lag. I don't know why, it just is. So I went to a thrift store when I was in Reykjavik. I'm at my little tiny youth hostel, on a little bed in a room with like 8 other women. And then I'm walking around. I go to a thrift store because the local people are going to unload their clothes at the thrift store, right? I found this beautiful black and white hand knitted Icelandic sweater, like no sleeves. It's the most coolest thing in the world. It was $34. Down the street, they sell them brand new for about $350 to $400. And it was in perfect shape. No stains, no roughness, no pilling of the wool, nothing. I love that sweater. Every time I take that out, I'm reminded of my trip, which happened to be the trip to go visit my mom in Scotland before she found out that she had cancer and came home and died 2 months later. So this sweater has a lot of meaning for me, and I didn't buy a souvenir at a souvenir shop. I got this beautiful high quality sweater at a thrift store. Thrifty and frugal, that's me. Okie doke. So you wear your trashy clothes that you're gonna throw away. And then that way, you gradually, as you go about your trip, you see something really cool that you want, you're not worried about anything about like having enough space in your bag, because you're gonna pick that thing up that you love and then take some old ratty shirt, put it in the trash can of whatever Airbnb or youth hostel you're at, and off you go. And you end up creating room for your new clothing by throwing away the old stuff that you were going to throw away anyways. If you want, do it with your underwear and socks. On this trip, I pulled out my awful socks that are like 5-6 years old. They're smart wool, and they last me about 5 years, but then they've got holes. Like one of them ripped today when I put it on, and I was like, well, you're going in the trash. And what am I gonna do? Well, not here in the Philippines. They don't really sell socks here. But when I go back to Korea, I'm gonna keep an eye open, and I'll pick up a few pairs of socks. I'll go home, and every time I wear those socks, I'll remember my trip in Korea. Okay, so let's see here. That's souvenirs, all right? Look at my list. I'm gonna have to do a couple of these because I'm already at 9 minutes. So I'll do a few, and I think I'll do them all right now, and then I'll just post them every few days. So keep an eye open. These are my free Substacks for free subscribers. If you are not a paid subscriber yet, I would recommend becoming a paid subscriber because I have a summer series that's coming out once a week, and it's really brilliantly awesome. The title of it is March Twisdales. Okay, don't get scared off if you haven't heard me talk about this before. March Twisdale's Vaccine Navigation Guide for Parents. This is your GPS, here we go, for dodging the drama and making smart, calm choices in the vaccine wilderness that work for you. There are as many right choices as there are people making them. And my summer series does not do anything that we see being done out there in the world of discussion, debate, argument on this topic. No, you're gonna find this to be probably the most comfortable and non-judgmental and empowering series about the topic of vaccine medicine. If you find something better, I want to know about it because I want to learn from that person, okay? So I guarantee this is special. I spent about 2 years in training and 2 years actually working as a La Leche League leader back in the day. And one of the most important things about La Leche League is that you have parent-to-parent support, mother-to-mother support with no judgment. And that's what I bring to this topic, okay? Alrighty, so become a paid subscriber and you'll catch my summer series, which is coming out once a week. Otherwise, my travel hacks are available for everyone. And I'm gonna pause for a second. We've talked about souvenirs. I've got a whole bunch of other things to talk about. And this is me in Boracay. And I'm having a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys soon.